Hello, everyone. This is Live Life Well TV host Robert Landau, and this is another episode of How to Be Okay When Things Aren't. We've got a question for you. How toxic are you? Stay tuned. So, how toxic are you? And when I ask that question, I don't mean based on the food you might be eating or the extra glass of wine you might have had last night or anything like that. I'm talking about mentally toxic, emotionally toxic. And this is what I mean by that. We have a lot of toxicity around us these days. Turn on your TV. So much of what's on there is just toxic. And by that, I mean negative, not setting a great example, not giving you a lot of hope, so on and so forth. Sometimes the way people might treat you or talk about you might be toxic. Sometimes some of the thoughts you think between you, yourself, and you might be toxic. So, how toxic are you means how much of all of that stuff do you allow into yourself to where you believe that and ultimately become that. That can be very stressful. And now science has proved that the number one cause of stress is the person who is feeling stressful. And what that means to say is if you're going through a stressful situation, not much you can do to change it necessarily, because if it involves other people, other situations, other things, you can't control those outside things. But what you can always do is control how you manage that stressful situation and how you talk to yourself within yourself when it comes to that situation. Are you your own best friend when you talk to yourself within yourself, kind of like mind chatter? Or could you be your own worst enemy? That's also a way of creating toxicity. So, how toxic are you? Well, that depends on you. It depends on you being able to discern the difference between what happens outside of you in situations and how you choose to manage those situations inside of you. I believe just about all of us were born toxicity free. In other words, we came here and we grew, hopefully not with a lot of health issues per se, into pretty cool people. But when we were younger, the purity of life, joy, happiness, love, laughter, were what we were all about. Take a look at little kittens, take a look at little puppies. They are nothing but the personification of what I believe true living is all about, toxicity free. So, if the toxicity that you have allowed within your psyche that has become, unfortunately, a part of your mindset or your mind chatter, realize this, that you may not be all of that toxic stuff. Understand that you are something much greater, which is much purer, which is much healthier. Choose to be that. And the way you connect with that is through prayer, through laughter, through joy, through love. All of those wonderful things help us remember who we really are. And there ain't nothing toxic about that. This has been Robert Landau. Here is to your toxic-free health. Thanking you for joining me for another episode of How to Be Okay When Things Aren't.